They have changed there as well. And it's completely independent of the landing gear. There's just the gear down. Just maybe to make eclipses tougher. Oh, the Scorpius, by absolutely leaps and bounds, it is the best looking RSI ship. No question. You can close up the wings and it will still let you fire, and it will actually let you fire through your ship geometry. I don't believe that's intended. There's no, I don't see any reason to put the turret into the deployed / ventral position. Now let's put them in stagger fire mode. Oh yeah, there's that X-Wing firing pattern. So a couple things that I will point out right away is the patch notes currently say that the flight is overtuned on this thing. It's much more maneuverable than it's intended to be. Number one. Number two, there is a new key binding that you'll need to use if you want to change the wing configuration / geometry. It's under flight movement. And you have 3 options: expand configuration, retract configuration, and cycle configuration. So I've simply bound the cycle configuration. That way when you press it, it just cycles back and forth. I've already tested it on other ships like the Arrow because I was thinking maybe we could finally use that to change the wing configuration and the landing gear simultaneously, so you know it would fit in ships like the Carrack that people have been kind of doing, but it's not really possible. Good morning, Cowboy, and good morning, Wang Mahler. Thank you guys both very much. I'm glad you like it. Alright, so we got the Scorpius here. The wings are in folded configuration. I've left the loadout by default. You can see the guns on gimbals. And of course, we have the remote turret on top. And the remote turret is, of course, on sliding rails, which allows it to swing around down to the back here. I don't feel that's going to be very useful at all, given the current state of the way that ships fly in atmosphere. You might think it's good for attacking ground targets or attacking the rear. But then again, the wings can also interfere with the turret as they are deployed. So we'll take a look at that as well. Cowboy is asking about size 2. Yes, it's size 2 on the wings and size 3 for the remote turret. Looks like there's component access on the bottom here. So let's enter the pilot seat, take off, and we'll take a look at this ship in more detail. Actually, we're going to test run a brand new feature in the sim pit today that I just built over the last couple of days, so this is going to be pretty good too. Excellent cockpit visibility in this thing. Not the absolute top end, but it is pretty damn good. There's no struts. There's even a spot between the character's legs that you can look. I don't like that there's only 2 MFDs, but that's alright. I have an interest in it because I feel like I kind of helped to popularize that idea. I wasn't obviously the first person to ever come up with that idea, but I've definitely been making videos on it and posting like on Reddit pretty hard in some cases, kind of advocating for that. But on the other hand, I have a perfectly working one that I've constructed myself, so that also means I don't really need to get theirs. But it still might be something I can do to sort of build a comparison. I have not had a lot of time recently, up until now. So I am just sort of starting to get back into the whole playing the game and actually making content. So there's the Scorpius with the wings extended. I definitely would say that I did, based on some feedback that people have given me, yes. So, in the Scorpius, we can use that new key binding that I talked about to independently change the configuration. You can see on the MFD there, wings have changed. They have changed there as well. And it's completely independent of the landing gear. There's just the gear down. I think if you pull the gear, yeah, if you pull the gear up though, it automatically will deploy the wings. Okay, I think we're back. Vanguard. It does not work on the Vanguard right now, unfortunately. I tried the Vanguard and I tried the Arrow. I didn't go in depth to a bunch of ships, but I just tried a couple, and it only seems to work on the Scorpius, at least as far as I've tried. But again, I haven't tried everything. So, again, the Scorpius is still supposed to be over provisioned right now as far as maneuverability goes, according to the patch notes. It has, I'd say, about currently equivalent to about the same yaw control that the Vanguard has in atmosphere. Now, I'm also hearing that the retracting the wings gives it better maneuverability in atmosphere. It has absolute crazy top speed for Microtech's atmosphere. Like, that's wickedly good for a heavy fighter. Oh yeah, I promised we'd look at a new pit feature. Let's see how this actually goes, because I haven't actually calibrated it to Microtech yet. No, actually, it's working pretty good. As you can see down here, I've built some night vision support. You guys won't be able to see it very clearly on the stream, but I posted a screenshot of it the other day. It's just an initial implementation, but it's going to it actually works fairly good so far. I just need to redefine it. That's right, there are only 2 MFDs for the pilot. There are no other holograms on the HUD or anything anywhere else that allows you to see all that stuff. So Well, Cowboy, then we can just use the fine I'll do it myself meme on that one. If there's enough interest, then I will probably do a little video on how I'm achieving that effect, but it's basically done with lookup tables and some gamma correction. There are other ways of doing it. There's people who've made like shaders and stuff with reshade and some other stuff like that. But all right, so I think the next step is to accept this bounty and shoot it with the Scorpius, of course. Oh, there's no quantum HUD currently. Oh, the Scorpius, by absolutely leaps and bounds, it is the best looking RSI ship. No question. You can cycle the fire mode, actually, now. If you look over on the right of the HUD, there's a stagger. You can't really notice it with repeaters too much. But you can definitely notice it with cannons. Alright, I'll avoid rest then. We have gimbals, we might as well use them. Just me, to make eclipses tougher. You know, even with its current level of maneuverability, it honestly feels like the Hurricane might actually be more maneuverable. That's just gut feeling, that's not comparing it side by side, but... Ooh, another bounty. Let's do one more. One other thing you can do right now is you can close up the wings and it will still let you fire, and it will actually let you fire through your ship geometry. I don't believe that's intended. Yeah, that was much better. It's interesting. I don't even see any escorts around for this guy. Alright, let's actually go back to Microtech then and check out the turret coverage. I think that's the next best plan. Lots of trees around here. Actually, as we're lower in the atmosphere here, trying to straight yaw into a turn is actually is more difficult than I initially thought. It's got quite a bit of resistance to it. Because that's been a pain for a while. Well, I mean, that sort of makes sense. Alright, let's just jump into the turret here. Oh wow, 1 MFD for the gunner? I don't think that's gonna go over well. Oh, it is a remote turret, that's right, never mind. My dumb brain. Still, it needs some targeting hologram for the gunner in that case then. Okay, so it's not possible to use that configuration to keybind to change the turret. It looks like you might have to use the MFD to change the turret position. Now what I gotta figure out how to do is the wings, when they're deployed, I am suspecting they are going to be blocking that turret. So let's see if we can get the wings deployed and get the ship. And we'll check it out that way too. Just from eyeballing it, you can tell that the turret is going to be blocked by the deployed wings. Yeah, the wings quite obviously block the turret. Honestly, considering everything though, that is not that much to worry about being blocked, in my opinion. I think there are definitely ways that you can avoid running into problems. And again, turrets will automatically move out of the way. It's not like you're going to hit yourself, but there is a little bit of a blind spot there, but it's honestly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Certainly not compared to some other ships. Although there is the argument that, you know, a big chunk of this ship's firepower is in the turret, especially with capacitors. So the Hurricane doesn't have that same issue, really. That's the main ship that it's really got to be compared against. Let's swap out the turret. And deploy. Okay, actually, now that I'm not on the surface, the turret can shoot pretty much straight backwards. So that was an issue with me being on the surface. But then again, the thing is like, that's 180 there. So I can shoot, yeah, you can see the turret points directly backwards there. So you can shoot directly backwards. But, like, here's the thing. If I put the turret back in the dorsal position, I can also shoot straight backwards. In fact, I can shoot a little bit. Yeah, because I can actually pitch it down more than I can pitch it up, which is convergent. But yeah, there's no, I don't see any reason to put the turret into the deployed / ventral position. It doesn't seem like it's going to make a difference. At least currently. Actually, if you really want to make this feel more like an X-Wing, if we put all cannons on it, and then put it in stagger fire mode, it would do that staggered fire mode from the X-Wing, I bet. Okay, let's just kill a couple things in space, just to say that we did, and then I'm going to try that, because that sounds fun. Oh, also, with the way that gimbals and fixed weapons are currently balanced, the sustained DPS difference between gimbal and non-gimbal is 30. Yeah, you can get you can definitely get more burst damage out of going full fixed, but if you're just sustaining fire on a target, it's like 30. Some of it's also a game content issue, too. You can only find, at least personally, I can only find so many things to say about the same thing, about the same mission, about the same ship. I do like heavier fighters, so my sticks are kind of in that sort of configuration. Gimbals on. Let's replace all of the cannons, or all the repeaters with cannons.
There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Now let's put them in stagger fire mode. Oh yeah, there's that X-Wing firing pattern. This thing would be really good, I think, with the turret gunner in play. We will look at the turret in a future video, though.